What kind of elected official spends his time attacking citizens on Facebook instead of demanding answers about a dead trustee? Oh, and if you think infamous means super famous, you might just be Lafayette Township Justin Peroli's trustee. All right, folks, today we're taking a quick break from exposing corruption to bring you a much-needed vocabulary lesson, courtesy of none other than Trustee Justin Peroli from Lafayette Township, Ohio, a man who apparently thinks infamous just means super famous. Now, Peroli, I get it, big words are hard, but let me help you out. Infamous doesn't mean famous. It means well-known for something bad. Now, in my case, that means being convicted of one tax offense. I own it. It's public record. But here's something you probably don't know. I actually never even presented my side of the case. If I had, you would have heard that I had accountants handling my sales tax. But hey, who needs facts when a catchy narrative works just fine, right? But let's be clear. Whatever you think of my past, one thing has never changed. I've always hated corruption in government. That's why I do what I do. That's why the infamous ex-chief exists. And that's why people like you, Peroli, get so uncomfortable when I start asking questions. And Peroli, let's not forget, you sit in a public office, but when it comes to the mysterious and unexplained death of a fellow trustee, Byron Macron, you act like there's nothing to see here. A sitting township trustee disappears, later found dead in a body of water with multiple injuries, and somehow you don't think it's worth questioning. But here's what really gets me. You keep making these attacks on people and deflecting from what's really going on. I've never shied away from my past. If this were just about you attacking me, I wouldn't care in the slightest. Go ahead, take your best shot. But that's not what we're doing, is it? No, you're going after the people asking legitimate questions. You're attacking anyone who dares to challenge the official story of Byron Macron's death. Even Sheriff Grice has all but admitted that the sheriff's department at the time did not investigate this well. In fact, in an interview, he stated, quote, "I think if Miller was here, he would have done things differently," end quote. He's referring to then Sheriff Miller. Think about that. The current sheriff is acknowledging that Byron Macron's death wasn't handled properly. And yet somehow you, Peroli, are more committed to defending the mistakes than even the guy running the department today. Why is that? The people of Lafayette Township should be absolutely appalled that they have an elected official behaving like this. A man who, instead of demanding answers for a fellow trustee, spends his time mocking those who do. How does someone like that claim to represent the best interests of this community? And what's even more repulsive, an elected public official who thinks it's appropriate to berate citizens on Facebook just for asking questions. This isn't some random internet troll. It's you, Peroli. It's a township trustee, a person who's supposed to serve the public, sitting online picking fights with his own constituents like a bitter teenager with too much free time. And while we're at it, let's talk about the whole lack of visibility nonsense you like to push. Peroli, I've successfully investigated hundreds of homicides with a higher clearance rate than the national average. Meanwhile, your big investigative contribution is what? Facebook comments and public records requests of covert crimes that are purchased showing a relative's address? So while I'm over here being infamously honest about my past, you're out here being famously spineless when it comes to real accountability. And I haven't even gotten into your support of the Boogaloo movement. But don't worry, Peroli, there's plenty of time for that.